Hi, we're Team 9 for UNIV 105, and this is our report out video number 3. And today is June 21st, 2012. My name is Nate Millard.
Hi, I'm Tia Newby.
And I'm Thea Wolf. We've been giving you some sustainability tips for the last 2 weeks, but today we wanted to present you with some sustainability conundrums that are worrisome to us. Mine is, I don't actually know anything about this iPad. I don't know how it's manufactured. I don't know what goes into it when it's disposed of eventually. I don't know how that's managed. I don't know if the item itself is in any way sustainable. And I have a lot of concern about the emergence of tablets and tablet use. I know that video watching on tablets is a major cause of diminishing bandwidth, and that a possible outcome of that is that only large corporations eventually will be able to afford internet, which is a very scary thought. So it's one of the things I'm going to research over the next year. In response to the question about SLOs, we've decided to focus in the fall on the Creativity SLO and the Active Inquiry SLO from GE. We see these as related in our courses. We have lots of project-based work, and we're hoping that students come together to use knowledge from the course to construct new knowledge. So as we think about assessment, that's really what interests us.
I was going to talk about my backpack, and I'm going to get it, so hold on. Because we want to complicate sustainability a little bit here. And so I was looking at my really ugly looking torn up backpack. But this backpack has actually been around the world twice. I mean, physically been around the world twice with me. But I like the company that does it, and we're really talking about purchasing. How do you complicate sustainability in purchasing and realizing that, how much use will you get out of it? When you talk about clean canteens and the idea that they're stainless steel, that's great if you use it for your whole life. But will you use it for your whole life? And, will you really get the use out of it that it should get out? And that's something that we're really wrestling with when it comes to sustainability. In terms of our conversation at AEL, we'll talk about the peer-to-peer stuff. And so some of the stuff that we're implementing to deal with peer-to-peer, we're going to have group contracts. We have stable teams, smaller teams and slightly larger teams. We have group activity, exhibit, in-class workshops. We're brainstorming online. We're doing out-of-class workshops, and we have discussion posts.
Great. For me, I have a front yard and a backyard that has nothing in it but grass and some trees. And so I'm struggling with the fact that I don't like to landscape, I don't like to garden, it's just not who I am. But I do want to do it in a way, when I do it in my yard, that's sustainable and that is actually less work for me, because I don't want to weed and I don't want to use too much water in watering my landscape. And so Thea's actually been great in providing me with some resources about how you can work with the earth and work with the land and make it work for you in ways that it reduces your footprint and reduces kind of the time you have to use in working on your land. So that's something that I'm going to be spending the next year and a big chunk of the summer working on. And I'm going to talk about assessment. In our course, we are toying and hopefully going to do have our students do an online portfolio that will help get at assessing that ability to take a novice approach to knowledge and to kind of go beyond what they're learning in class and really apply new concepts and new ideas that they do on their own. We also have the opportunity, because the three of us are all teaching classes and we're working on designing these classes together, we get to use the same exams and the same assignments. So we have some built-in internal assessment between the three of us. And I think Thea mentioned that we're looking at 400 students over the course of a year that'll be doing all those same activities and exams together. So we're very fortunate. And then we also are looking at a measure called the new ecological paradigm, and potentially having students do a pre and post test to see if their attitudes about sustainability change during the course. And we finally have a lot of embedded reflection pieces that the students will be constructing and writing, and we can do a content analysis of those pieces to see what themes are emerging in terms of assessment with our course.
So the final question was about design. What would we want in a classroom design? And my wish is to have lots of surfaces where it's possible to draw. We liked mind mapping, we liked that technological tool, but when you're first having a burst of ideas and you want to get them down, the tools that we've looked at are too slow. So we would like rooms that have movable whiteboards, a number of them, so that every group of students has access to a movable whiteboard. Ideally, the table surface is something that you could draw on and erase, and the walls really should have whiteboard paint. So my dream is to have a room where absolutely everything but the technology can be drawn on.
And for me, because of some of my background and looking at some of the research on attention restoration and nature restoration, and because we have a beautiful campus here, I really want classrooms that are outside. We just don't have spaces here for a classroom to work as a group. I think the only place we can kind of use is the amphitheater, and that's not really conductive to the type of learning spaces we want. And so my dream would be to have these places maybe along the creek or even in areas where they could even be glassed in if need be. And it'd be awesome to be able to write on the glass, and so we still have those workable spaces, cement tables, stuff that can be cleaned easily, maybe even power outlets. But I want to be outside. I want to be able to see this beautiful campus, because a lot of the research shows that your attention span is better, your creativity is better when you're outside and when you have that kind of natural environment. So,
Well, we want to thank you for joining us for the past 3 weeks on our journey in Academy E, Cohort 4. And I think I can speak for everyone to say we had a wonderful time, and TLP, thank you so much.
Bye.